Hey, what you working on?
Oh, nothing much. Just some basic maintenance on my shafts of my minigun.
Oh, minigun. What inspired you to make this?
This was my summer project. So in the beginning of the summer, I was helping Scott, one of the mentors, bring in some donations, and I saw this. And as I didn't really have anything to do at that moment, I decided to actually have some summer fun and build something this
Mm-hmm.
summer. So I just saw this and decided to make a Dodge Rebel minigun, which
Mm-hmm.
is what you see before you, and it's all glory.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me a little bit about your building process through your entire minigun journey?
So in the beginning, it was mostly just a two-step process of deconstructing and reconstructing,
Mm-hmm.
with the beginning of it being just taking off all the excess parts. Like you can see over here, these are water jet cut steel plates, and that was all spares that they used to put in the middle, which
Mm-hmm.
would hold a little bar for the shoulder, as
Ah.
this was the shooter mechanism for a 2020 robot, but they don't use this anymore, so they didn't want it, so they donated it, which is
Mhm.
how I was able to get my hands on it,
Awesome.
which was so lucky for me because now once it's all good and up and running at full capacity, I'll be the MVP of every dodgeball tournament I go to.
About how far can you actually end up shooting it?
Roughly 20 yards.
Okay. How long did it take you to fully make it?
This took roughly 2 months before an off-season event for me to build.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the building and actual like reconstruction was up here, as in the back there wasn't really much for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was up here where I had to actually I actually repurpose these little just right angle bars, and I actually had to use drill press and drill new holes into it so I can attach my 18-volt test motor,
Mm-hmm.
which I pretty much just slap on. I have a little Anderson cables, and I'll just connect and run it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are actually two 12-volt sim motors, so I don't want to like just gun it full power all the time because that'll be bad for the motors,
Mm-hmm.
and I could burn it out, which is what I really don't want. But also, I have the Wagos, three-way Wago,
Oh, of
of
course.
course, the Wagos. But and actually, one of the interesting things that I had to do when wiring everything together was,
Mm-hmm.
as you can see here, I had to actually change it. So on one of the Sims, it was black to red and red to black, so that I
Mm-hmm.
could reverse the power in it, so that they both are running opposite to each other. So instead, if they're both running with their wheels turning to the left, like
Mm-hmm.
that, then it wouldn't work, as you would have one shooting out and one shooting in, which wouldn't be able to shoot one of these dodgeballs that I
Yeah.
have. So what I had to do was actually reverse the power going into it, so it's going opposite to the left motor, so that it shoots it out.
Yeah. Did you have any like problems throughout your build process that you'd like to reflect on?
Uh, Particularly, it was only in the front where most of the stuff is,
Yeah.
obviously, that I had the biggest problems. Like the shafts and the wheels, as I was working on it in some of the earlier stages of the actual development of this, there was multiple times where the shafts and the bearings and the spacers would fall out as I was testing it, because I had the lisp of the bearing on the outside
Mm-hmm.
of this plate. So I ended up having it so whenever I would spin it up, it would shake just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because it's only press fit to a certain degree. And as it would spin, it would cause it to shake out, which then caused everything to go crazy, which then caused the shaft collar and the spacers and the wheels all to become useless, as it would all just fall out.
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest problem and favorite thing was to figure out how to fix all that, which ended up being me flipping over the bearing, so the little lisp that's on the bearing is actually on the underside, and holding it against this with a shaft collar directly next to it to hold the shaft in place. Because even when I fixed the bearing problem, it would still shake just a small amount, which was enough to have the shaft actually like fall out still. So I had a shaft collar that I put on the inside that would be against the bearing, and it would still spin with it.
Mm-hmm.
That would keep the shaft from going, so that now it runs like a dream. And whenever I rev it up, it sounds like a jet engine, and it's all fun and games now.
It's a great example of how you overcame some of your issues. I'm gonna have one more question for you. You ready?
Yeah?
Want to show us how it works?
Oh, bet, 100%. So it'll generally hold 5, but right now I only have 4. And I'm actually the maintenance that I'm doing right now is actually preparing for a game that I'm heading to. So you're actually perfect timing to see it in action.
Awesome.
So this goes like here pretty much. Then I connect it. And just like Rambo,
Ready to go.
let's go. Yeah!